Very, very small crowd. There was probably I'd say about 10 people or so at the gig. And like the weather was just absolutely horrendous because it, it was supposed to be snowing in Ireland that week. And hello, welcome back to Al Talks. This is an introduction video which will be featured in every episode after this one. But here we go. So this podcast is Al Talks. My name is Alex George. I am a stand-up comedian, and this podcast I created nearly 2 years ago to just basically chronicle my journey into starting stand-up. But there's other episodes that are nothing to do with stand-up. It's just interest that I have. So there'll be it's mainly based on comedy, but it is a general podcast as well. So um, if you want to support me, I have merchandise. This lovely podcast sticker here, Al Talks. You can buy that. If you would like to buy one, you can go into my social media. Links are all down below in the description on my link tree as well. You have access to everything. I have an Instagram page for the podcast. I have an Instagram page which is my personal one, but I use that for comedy, so you can check me out there, follow me there, and that is all. Episodes usually come out on Tuesday, but sometimes they might come out other days during the week. And then on Thursdays, if I am around anywhere doing comedy gigs, I record comedy vlogs, so you can listen to those. They usually come out on Thursdays, and that's that. So yeah, all the links down below, link tree. I have Buy Me a Coffee now if you want to support me as well. Links for that down below as well in the description. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. And now on to the episode. Hello. So I'm gonna in this episode talk about hello. Anyway, we're back. So I'm gonna talk about the Good Craic Open Mic that I was at earlier in the week. Well, it's last week at this stage. Because I released the episode last week talking about how I'm going to do this episode because it's all in the past now. Anyway, so the gig was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. Did really well. Very, very small crowd. There was probably I'd say about 10 people or so at the gig. And like the weather was just absolutely horrendous because it was supposed to be snowing in Ireland that week, and it did snow the next day after when I was up in Dublin. But so I got down to Bray, and the wind coming in from the Irish Sea was really, really bad. So it's probably one of the reasons why not a lot of people showed up. But it was kind of a nice, intimate show. Really nice lineup of comedians. Some people I know, some people I didn't know. So it was great to meet some new comedians. A really nice show, but there was one guy. I don't know what his problem was, or he was just kind of, I don't know, he kind of appeared late, I think, kind of towards the end of the whole show, and it was just kind of heckling comedians. When I was actually performing as well, he got up to go somewhere twice, so I was like, okay, cool. But that tends to happen sometimes. And he was kind of just shouting random stuff out because there was a few comedians who were doing things about date naps and stuff, and he was kind of just shouting out disruptive, stupid shit. So that was the only bad part of the show, other than a small crowd. But for them, it was a nice, intimate show because I really enjoyed myself. Some of the jokes that I had that always work one of them didn't work the way I wanted to, which was kind of I said the joke, and it was kind of didn't work, and I was kind of off-putting a little bit. But other than that, like the entirety of my set went really, really well. Got a great response from the crowd. They really enjoyed it, so that was good. And the other part was, what was the other part? What was I going to say? I'm just being distracted because a lot of stuff going on outside. There's all construction and blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah, so a pretty good show. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say, one of the comedians there, Anthony Riley Jr. We was just sitting down talking before the show. Even the actually before the show started, the fellow who hosts the Good Craic Open Mic, Sean Begley, he came down. Great comedian. He he came down and he was like, "Look, it's a fairly small crowd. You still want to go ahead with the show?" We were like, "Oh yeah, 100%. You know, we might as well. We're all here." He was like, oh, "Okay, fair enough." But I was chatting to him, and at the break, Anthony came up to me. He's like, "I know," because we were just chatting, and he was like, "I think I met Anthony before the various open mics, but I didn't actually know how far back I know him." And he showed me a really cool photo of the Battle of the Axe. He was performing, and in the background, you could see me sitting down on one of the chairs wearing my vest that has a massive Lemmy patch on it. And he's like, "That's how, like, it's crazy to think that's about three, like, yeah, that's like what, 3 years ago? Because I started performing 2019, if memory serves correct. Yeah, it was 2019, so it's coming up in, like I said, coming up in 4 years. It is like it is so crazy to think that that was, because I thought it was longer, but like, it's mad that I know Anthony that long. It actually was really cool. We were reminiscing about those good old days because that open mic was pretty good. I was actually chatting to one of the guys who MC'd one of the last shows at it that I was at before COVID. Um, Damien Clark, who now is the MC at the Crackdown Comedy Club, which I was at the day after the Bray gig. Went to see a lot of good comedians. Really, really nice show. And we were just chatting about that because we had a heckler on, and from the US, and she just, I don't know, for whatever reason, she appeared for like after the last break. So it was like, so it was only like two acts on me and another fella. And it was just kind of a nice trip down memory lane on both days, just, to talk about the good old days of the Battle of the Axe open mic, which was a fun show. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, that place has now become the Halfpenny Comedy Club, which I'll be performing at Box Comedy in a couple of weeks' time. I think the end of this month, 29th, I think. Yeah, I think it's 29th. So it should be a nice, fun show. Also looking forward to that. I've got Cork coming up this week on Saturday, day after Paddy's Day, so it should be a nice, fun show. Looking forward to it. A great lineup of comedians. Actually, one of the guys performing me at Bray, he'll be performing at that as well. So it'd be nice to catch up again. But I think other than, I don't think I have anything else to add. I mean, it was just 2 great days of comedy, but watching and performing, really enjoyed myself. Um, like I said, small crowd, intimate show for them, and we all had fun. Like, I mean, because we were, because a couple of comedians dropped out as well, so we kind of doing longer sets, which I enjoy doing because most of the time I'm usually kind of limited to 5 or 7 minutes for set, so it's kind of nicer to get a longer set in. The only, like I said, didn't try any new material apart from one joke which didn't work, so we'll work on that in the future. And I'm just trying to think of anything else to tell you before I finish this episode off. But I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it, really. No, I can't really think of anything else. Like I said, I'm in Cork this weekend. Looking forward to that. I just had, had a good old time at the open mic, so can't say anything bad about it other than, well, the small crowd wasn't a bad thing because it was, like I said, nice intimate show, so we kind of got to be more engaging with them and stuff like that. So it was like a really good night, very fun, and a very cold and windy night as well. So that's gonna be this week's episode, which will be out Tuesday. You also get a comedy vlog this week because I shot one in Bray. But I think that's it. As per usual, thanks for watching. Links at the front for all the good stuff. I'm gonna start editing like short little clips of the podcast in the beginning of the podcast before the introduction as well. Just so you can get a small preview of what the episode is. But I think that's it, really. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I should see you all next time. Bye.